On today's Tech Time Tuesday, we're going to be talking about sway bars, specifically sway bar end links and bushings, and how not all end links are created equal.
Tech Time Tuesday!
All right, so first we're going to be looking at, this is off the front of an M2, which check out our separate video about the M2 front sway bar to learn more about that particular application. But this is what's known as a pin and hat bushing or stem hat bushing. So basically you've got these two bushings which mount on either side of this bracket here. So they have this little inner diameter there. You can see a little bit better here on how that inner diameter is designed to fit into this bracket. And as you can see, these bushings are not in too good a shape. Now, why is that? Well, there's a few things going on here. One, your stress is all concentrated on that bushing just around that edge there. And so as you're pushing and pulling, your sway bar is pushing and pulling on this end link, that's really concentrating that load in the one area and is causing that bushing to deform and basically get kind of pulled. It's trying to pull it through this hole or push it up through the hole in this bracket on the frame. And eventually you get to something like this. Beyond that, this bushing is just going to totally fail. This whole outer piece is going to end up coming loose, and then you basically don't have a front sway bar. So clearly not the strongest design. Why would they use it? Well, there's a few theories I have. One is cost. It's probably a little bit cheaper to manufacture this compared to stronger designs. Also, it does have the advantage of allowing for articulation equally in every direction. So if you were worried about a lot of different movement, that kind of thing could be good from that perspective, as opposed to other styles of bushings which really allow for more movement just in one single plane than in the other plane. But in my mind, the trade-off is not really worth it. That we see this style fail quite a bit, especially on the front of the M2 chassis. So another style you have, well, really there's two variations on the same style. So you've got an eyelet, and there's a sleeve in the middle, which you can actually see up here if we look at the top of this end link. So you've got a sleeve in the middle of that rubber bushing that's bonded in there. So this is a much better design. The bushing is fully captured inside of that eyelet, and it distributes the load better across a larger surface area. Basically, the bottom half of that sleeve in there is carrying the load as you're pushing down on it. So larger surface area distributing the load against that bushing, and it's fully captured inside there, so less likely to fail and squirm out compared to a stem hat bushing style. And again, I'm speaking generally here. This is from the back of a Sprinter. This is from the front of an M2, so please don't get hung up on the specific parts, but just in general, that's the comparison. Now here, this is what's known as single shear, where we're connected on one side of the end link here. Compare that to double shear, where this end link, also known as we'll call it like a shackle style, it comes down on either side of that bushing. What's the advantage there? Well, you can see how, like, if I were to pull on this, I can really get a lot of deflection there. And if you get a lot of load here, this bolt, what does it want to do? It kind of wants to bend to deflect within that bushing. So it can cause some uneven loading within that bushing. It's not quite as strong of a connection as opposed to the double shear. That load is being equally applied on both sides of the bolt. So you're not getting as much of a bending. It's more of just an even loading on that sleeve within the bushing. So it is a stronger, more robust connection. Potential trade-offs, depending on how snug the fit is, how much give you have in the bushings, you may reduce your articulation side to side a little bit that way. Obviously, as your ride height changes, primarily you're just going to get a flex here as it's designed to. So arguably you've got better articulation in the one direction, when your ride height is changing, as opposed to this style where it allows movement in every direction, but it's not, when that's tightened down, it's going to kind of resist it in every direction. And one particular application where we have seen issues with that is the front of the Freightliner XC chassis. It uses a very similar style setup here with the pin hat bushing style on the older ones. And because that is an air ride application on the Freightliner XC, you're getting a lot of changes in ride height. The front end drops down and then picks back up once it airs up. So with that constant change in ride height, you're getting a lot of this kind of thing happening on that bushing. Eventually, on the Freightliner XC chassis, we see we see those hat bushings get squashed down, and that really reduces the effectiveness of the anti-sway bar. On those, we can go to better quality bushings, polyurethane bushings from Roadmaster. We can also go to a bigger front sway bar. Eventually, Freightliner did make that change, though. They went away from the pin hat bushing style to more of the shackle style. About the time that they changed to the V-Ride rear suspension, they went to a larger 1.75" diameter front anti-sway bar from the factory with those double shear shackle style end links. So even they realized they had to make a change as well. Now, even on those, we can still go to a bigger 2-inch front anti-sway bar on the front of those Freightliner XC newer ones with the I-beam suspension. So all of that to say, there's a lot of different factors that come into play talking about sway bar effectiveness and durability. And just want to help you guys understand some differences in design that can have an effect on longevity of your particular setup. So if you have any questions on that or other applications, feel free to give us a call, 888-898-3281. Visit supersteerparts.com. You can check out our Chassis Learning Center. Also, please like and subscribe. Check out our Tech Time Tuesday series of different videos like this, and as well as our other informative videos. So until next time, want to wish you all safer and happier driving.
Tech Time Tuesday.